Sometimes God brings people into our lives when we least expect it, and at the exact moment we need them most. Life has a way of surprising us. There are seasons when we feel lost, broken, forgotten, or uncertain about the future. During those moments, it can seem as though our prayers are going unanswered, and our hopes are fading. We may wonder why certain doors have closed, why relationships have ended, or why we continue to face loneliness when our hearts long for companionship and understanding. Yet God often works behind the scenes in ways we cannot immediately recognize. His timing is different from ours, and His plans are greater than anything we could design for ourselves. Many people spend years searching for answers, trying to force opportunities, relationships, or outcomes that they believe will bring happiness. They become discouraged when things do not happen according to their schedule. However, faith teaches us that delays are not always denials. Sometimes God uses waiting seasons to prepare us for blessings that require greater wisdom, maturity, and strength. What feels like a setback today may actually be protection from future pain. What feels like silence may be God quietly arranging circumstances that will eventually reveal His purpose. One of the most difficult challenges in life is trusting God when we cannot see where the road is leading. Human nature desires certainty. We want clear signs, immediate answers, and visible evidence that everything will work out. But faith often grows strongest in uncertainty. It develops when we choose to trust God's character, even when we do not understand His methods. The greatest transformations frequently happen during seasons when nothing appears to be changing on the surface. Deep roots grow underground before a tree rises toward the sky. In the same way, God often develops our character before revealing the next chapter of our journey. Heartbreak is another experience that tests faith. Whether it comes through disappointment, rejection, betrayal, or loss, emotional pain can leave deep wounds. It is easy to question our worth when someone walks away or when a relationship does not unfold as we hoped. Yet our value has never been determined by another person's ability to recognize it. God's love remains constant, regardless of how others treat us. He sees every tear, every struggle, and every silent prayer. Even in moments when we feel abandoned, He remains close, offering comfort, strength, and healing. Often the people who enter our lives at the right moment become instruments of God's grace. They may not arrive with dramatic signs or extraordinary circumstances. Sometimes they appear through simple conversations, unexpected friendships, acts of kindness, or opportunities that seem ordinary at first. Yet these encounters can have a profound impact. A single encouraging word can restore hope. One genuine friendship can ease years of loneliness. One mentor can help reveal a purpose we never saw within ourselves. God frequently works through people to remind us that we are not alone. Patience is one of the most valuable lessons faith teaches. In a world focused on instant results and immediate gratification, waiting can feel frustrating. However, spiritual growth often requires time. Just as a seed needs seasons of development before producing fruit, our lives require periods of preparation before certain blessings can be fully appreciated. If everything arrived the moment we desired it, we might lack the wisdom to manage it, or the gratitude to value it. Waiting is not wasted time when God is involved. It is often a season of growth, refinement, and preparation. There are moments when we look back on our lives and suddenly understand why certain events happened the way they did. The disappointments that once seemed unfair reveal hidden blessings. The closed doors that once caused frustration become evidence of divine protection. The delays that once felt painful become proof that God's timing was better than our own. These realizations remind us that our perspective is limited, while God's vision extends far beyond what we can see. Trusting God's plan does not mean life will be free from challenges. Difficulties are part of every journey. However, faith provides confidence that challenges do not have the final word. Every struggle can teach resilience. Every setback can build character. Every trial can strengthen trust in God's guidance. Even when circumstances seem impossible, God is able to create opportunities where none appear to exist. He can bring peace in the middle of chaos, hope in the middle of despair, and direction in the middle of confusion. Many people carry burdens from the past that prevent them from embracing the future. Old wounds, regrets, fears, and disappointments can become chains that limit growth. Yet healing begins when we surrender those burdens to God. Forgiveness, whether toward ourselves or others, creates room for new possibilities. Letting go does not erase the past, but it prevents the past from controlling the future. God specializes in restoration. He can take broken pieces and create something beautiful from them. Relationships are often one of the areas where people struggle most with trust and patience. We may wonder why the right people have not appeared, or why meaningful connections seem difficult to find. Yet, healthy relationships often emerge when we focus on becoming the person God created us to be, rather than obsessing over finding someone else to complete us. Growth, self-awareness, and spiritual maturity create a foundation for deeper and more meaningful connections. When God brings the right people into our lives, those relationships often align with His purpose for our growth and well-being. Every season has value, even the ones we would not choose for ourselves. Times of solitude can teach self-discovery. Seasons of waiting can strengthen faith. Moments of struggle can reveal inner strength. Periods of uncertainty can deepen dependence on God. Nothing is wasted when placed in His hands. Every experience contributes to the person we are becoming. If you are currently facing uncertainty, loneliness, or disappointment, remember that your story is still being written. The chapter you are living today is not the entire book. God's timing is often mysterious, but it is never accidental. The people you need, the opportunities meant for you, and the blessings prepared for your future may already be moving into place. Continue trusting, continue growing, and continue believing. Even when you cannot see the path ahead, God is guiding your steps. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right answers often arrive when we least expect them, reminding us that God's plans are always unfolding with wisdom, purpose, and perfect timing. There is a reason why God does not reveal the entire journey at once. If we knew every challenge ahead, we might become overwhelmed. If we knew every blessing in advance, we might stop relying on Him. Instead, He invites us to walk by faith, one step at a time. Each day becomes an opportunity to trust Him a little more, to grow a little stronger, and to discover new evidence of His faithfulness. The path may not always be easy, but it is often through the most difficult seasons that we experience the deepest spiritual growth. Many of the people we admire for their strength, wisdom, and faith did not develop those qualities during comfortable seasons. They learned perseverance through hardship. They discovered courage through fear. They found hope in situations that seemed hopeless. Their stories remind us that challenges are not signs of God's absence. In many cases, they are opportunities for God to reveal His presence in powerful ways. When everything is going well, it is easy to feel self-sufficient. When life becomes difficult, we often discover how much we truly need Him. Sometimes God removes certain people from our lives because He sees what we cannot. We may feel hurt when relationships end, friendships fade, or opportunities disappear. Yet, not everyone who enters our lives is meant to stay forever. Some people are part of a season, while others are part of a lifetime. God understands the difference. What feels like rejection may actually be redirection. What appears to be a loss may be creating space for something healthier, stronger, and more aligned with His purpose. There are moments when loneliness feels especially heavy. During those times, it is tempting to believe that we have been forgotten. Yet solitude and abandonment are not the same thing. Solitude can become a sacred space where God speaks most clearly. Without the distractions of constant noise and activity, we become more aware of His guidance. We begin to understand ourselves more deeply. We discover strengths we did not know we possessed. We learn that our identity is rooted not in the approval of others, but in the love of God. One of the greatest gifts God gives us is the ability to start again. No matter how many mistakes we have made, His mercy offers new opportunities. Failure does not have to define our future. Regret does not have to control our decisions. The past may explain where we have been, but it does not determine where we are going. God's grace allows us to move forward with hope instead of remaining trapped by guilt. Every new day is a reminder that His plans are still active and His promises are still alive. Growth often happens so gradually that we fail to notice it. We focus on what has not changed and overlook the progress that has already occurred. Yet, every lesson learned, every fear overcome, and every act of faith contributes to the person we are becoming. God is often working within us long before we see visible changes around us. He shapes our character, strengthens our spirit, and prepares us for responsibilities and blessings that require greater maturity. When unexpected opportunities appear, they are often connected to preparation that took place during hidden seasons. The job offer, friendship, relationship, or breakthrough that seems sudden may actually be the result of years of unseen growth. God rarely wastes experiences. The lessons learned during difficult seasons frequently become the tools we need for future success. What once felt meaningless may eventually reveal itself as essential preparation. Faith does not require us to understand everything. It requires us to trust the one who does. There will always be questions without immediate answers and situations that challenge our understanding. Yet God's wisdom extends beyond human limitations. He sees the beginning and the end. He understands connections and possibilities that remain invisible to us. Trusting Him means believing that His perspective is greater than our own, even when circumstances tempt us to doubt. The people God places in our lives often arrive with lessons, encouragement, and purpose. Some inspire us through their example. Others challenge us to grow. Some provide support during difficult times, while others help us discover gifts and abilities we never recognized in ourselves. These relationships are reminders that God often works through human connections to accomplish His plans. A conversation that seems ordinary today may become a turning point tomorrow. Hope is one of the most powerful forces in the human spirit. It allows us to keep moving forward when circumstances suggest giving up. Hope reminds us that today's difficulties are not permanent. It encourages us to believe that healing is possible, that doors can open, and that better days are ahead. Christian hope is not wishful thinking. It is confidence rooted in the character of God. It is the belief that He remains faithful even when life feels uncertain. As we continue walking through life, we begin to recognize patterns of God's faithfulness. We remember prayers that were answered in unexpected ways. We recall moments when help arrived exactly when it was needed. We see how challenges that once seemed unbearable eventually became testimonies of strength and resilience. These memories become evidence that God has been guiding us all along, even during seasons when we struggle to see His hand at work. The future may still contain unknowns, but it also contains possibilities beyond anything we can currently imagine. God's plans are not limited by our fears, our past mistakes, or our present circumstances. He is able to create opportunities where there seem to be none. He can restore what has been lost, heal what has been broken, and lead us toward purposes greater than our own expectations. Every day is another opportunity to trust His guidance, embrace His timing, and move forward with confidence that He is working all things together for good.